Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X for the 4th episode of Dragon Ball Daima's review, breakdown, and everything you may have missed video. We are getting further away from the setup, exposition episodes, and getting more action sequences, and just like, just kind of some, nice moments in terms of animation and choreography, and I am here for it. So, right before we get into that video, if you like the video, and if you love the video, maybe even subscribe, because we are this close to 1,000 subscribers, and I could really appreciate, I really would appreciate the extra oomph towards that milestone. So, with that being said, let's hop into the breakdown. As per usual, if I can find it on Twitter, we'll just kind of have the image just chilling, just so you guys can see that, and then we will keep talking about everything you might need to know. So this episode starts out right where the other one left off. They just got their car jacked because, as I said before, this is like Demon World Detroit. They're in the bad area of Demon World, and yeah, they kind of squabble over like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened, and then Glorio's like, I guess we're gonna have to continue on foot. So they start walking, and basically Goku is like, okay, well, maybe how long is it going to be until the next place? And Glorio says about half a day's walk. And so Goku is like, okay, well, we should fly. And immediately Glorio says that, the air is still heavy because of the gas, and that it would tire you out and you just waste your energy flying. And Goku tries to fly, and the air is still heavy. So we're still seeing these restrictions. We're going to see them for a while. There's got to be a reason why Goku and friends aren't just going to like booty blast the entirety of Demon Realm when they thought Deborah was the strongest dude that they could like ever know. So yeah, we're going to pretty much have these points where these limits are going to be reinforced so that, yeah, the gang is nerfed. The gang is nerfed and needs to do things otherwise, but it also is going to hammer down the adventure aspect, and that's a whole thing that lots of people haven't kind of like, I guess like, I haven't seen anybody hammer in on that. Dragon Ball Z became a very punch fighty show, all about the battles and the dramas and the stakes, whereas Dragon Ball had so much exploration on it, seeing new places, meeting new people, like, and that's what Daima is trying to kind of mix. Like, so far there haven't been high stakes, but we are seeing like more of a day-to-day adventure with the crew, and I like that. So going off into this, they go over, right, and they see the Sea of Darkness again, and this is when Glorio's like, okay, yeah, we're not jumping from island to island here when falling in could just like get us like completely destroyed. So we're gonna fly over here. So they start flying over there, and this giant monster, it's like weird wispy looking dragonoid demon thing, comes out of the Sea of Darkness, and it tries to attack them. It tries to attack Goku. And one thing I'm gonna note here is that if the Sea of Darkness was instant death, from what Glorio is saying, it's weird things live in there. So I'm wondering if the Sea of Darkness is just where like the worst of the worst are, and we'll visit there later in the series. But for now, a monster comes out, and Goku dodges it, but he dodges it narrowly and kind of like not gracefully. And Shin has to mention yet again that Goku, his movements are not as sharp as they normally are. Once again, just kind of hammering in that they are nerfed. The main cast is nerfed. So Glorio then just starts going beast mode. He like says, I'll take care of it, and it's cool. Like he puts the game face on, and Glorio is. Last episode, I thought that Glorio was more of like a technical down and dirty fighter, like the way he was kind of throwing drinks in people's faces and kind of attacking. But no, Glorio is actually he's just a beast. Like, he flew, he was dodging fireballs in mid-air, and then when he was ready to start laying hands on the monster, he accelerated and caused like 2 sonic booms as he accelerated before punching this thing in the face, getting above it, flipping and kicking it back down to the Sea of Darkness. And that was cool. Another little tidbit is that they are about to get ambushed again, and Goku preempts it, and he like one-shots the bandit while complaining that his body's too heavy. And when Glorio was like, how did you know we're about to get ambushed? I couldn't see it. And then Goku was like, his ki, I sense his ki. And Glorio asks, what's ki? So I'm not sure if this is Glorio specific or Demon Realm specific, but they are not aware of ki. And I do have to admit, it might be Demon Realm specific, because if you remember on episode 1, when they saw them firing blasts, they said they use magic, but they don't have pointy ears. So Demon Realm may not understand the concept of ki. That's just something I wanted to put out there real quick. But it was a cool little moment showing that Glorio is a beast, but Glorio also has his limitations as well. Like, Glorio looks like a formidable fighter. And the moment Goku sees this, Goku is like, wow, you are not that bad. But the thing I also want to sidebar on is that Glorio seems like a very capable fighter. Like a fighter that could have at least been in the ranks of the Z fighters during the Buu saga. But Glorio came to get help against Goma. And Glorio thinks that the Tamagamis are darn near untouchable. So he really does think that like that just kind of lets you know, even if you know, Goma is not the strongest, or he's not like a cataclysmic like level of power, Glorio still doesn't think he can hold a candle to him. And we see that Glorio is a formidable fighter, and we haven't even seen all of Glorio, so it's just something to think about. So Goku ends up being hungry and asks if they can go eat, so they stop at a little diner. And the episode is called Chatty, and all they really do is talk through the episode. And like then they meet a chatty couple, but they go into this diner and Goku eats like skewered lizard. And eventually he starts looking around their wares, because it's pretty much just like a little diner / mom and pop shop owned by a married couple. So going over and talking about a couple things, Glorio starts asking about a like travel plan. He's like, do you guys have any ships? And the husband is like, oh, we don't have ships, but we can get you a Sky Seed for only 8,000. And Glorio's asking how far can it go, like, you know, with mileage. And the guy's like, yeah, probably like 120 kilos. And yeah, we're thinking 8,000. And Glorio looks at him, and for a second I thought Glorio was gonna pull out his 90% off coupon again, like he did with the hotel owner. But instead of flashing the pole, he actually just decides to say that that's a little steep, we'll go elsewhere, knowing they don't have any more options. And when the guy backs down to 5,000 Dokkan, that's when Glorio starts smiling, and the guy realizes he got. So Glorio is a haggler. He's a haggler, and he does love a deal. He's a bit of a scallywag. Everybody keeps making the Han Solo comparison, but this is really what his character was based off of, and I'm here for it. So they actually end up going and looking at the kind of souvenir shop of it, and you see bugs, and oh man, this is, like I said before, you don't go out of your way to talk about things and exhibit things unless they're going to come back, unless you're a bad writer. And so it looks like we're already setting the stage for quite a lot. They see bugs, and Goku's like, what are these? And the wife is like, oh yeah, these do a lot of things. And she points out bugs that do like medibugs. They look like Patara. The medibugs actually like Patara. That's what I thought they were until she said they were healing bugs. And then she said the Achichi bugs are for burns. The Zitsu bugs are for headaches. The Butte bugs are for smooth skin. So I'm sure Bulma is gonna have a field day with that when she sees them. And then there is a join bug. These green bugs are join bugs. To like 2 or 3 people can eat different ones, halves or something like that, and they can fuse into one character for a limited amount of time. So yes, we have fusion happening in Daima. It's just a matter of when they decide to pop it. We are about to get all fan fiction in here. So then after doing that, Goku begs Glorio if he can get some of these bugs. And I think, I mean, you can see that he's got like one of each bug, except for the join bug. He's got 2. So this makes me believe that these are the 2 halves. I don't think there's like, oh, he has 2 join bugs. There are 2 different like ways to fuse. I think he has 2 join bugs, so he can give one to somebody and have one for himself or something like that. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Funny thing here is by now we've seen Goku call Glorio Golilo like multiple times, and he has to be like, my name's Glorio. And Goku's just dense like that. So yeah. So as we're going over, they start talking about, for the first time, Goku starts talking about like the plan. He's like, so how do we get the Dragon Balls to wish ourselves bigger? And Glorio's like, I mean, they're guarded by the Tamagami, and you have to fight them. And Goku's like, oh wow, and they're strong, and Goku's getting excited. But Glorio brings up a couple of points that I think need to be noted. One, Glorio is saying that nobody has ever been strong enough to defeat the Tamagamis, get the Dragon Balls, and make a wish in Demon Realm. But while he says this, he's smiling. And so I feel like that's BS at this point. I feel like that means that somebody has already gathered them and made a summon, or made a wish. And I think that also means that he knows who is about. Now, this is just a hunch. This is speculation, but he was smiling. Go back and watch that scene. He smiled when he turned away from the party and said nobody's ever done that before. The other thing, though, is that he mentions that they shouldn't use his wish on getting bigger. They should use it on rescuing Dende and then go up to Earth and use the Earth Dragon Balls to wish to be bigger. And Goku's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But it's very strange that he just automatically is like, no, don't use the Dragon Ball wish down here. Don't do that to get big. So I wonder if there might be a double cross where he doesn't want them getting their full strength back, and then he's going to double cross them with strength that we haven't seen yet. We don't know. But either way, Shin has a scene where Glorio looks down at Shin, and Shin looks up at Glorio, and Glorio is just like silent, and Shin's like, alright, I guess that makes sense. So you can tell that Shin has his guards up still. He still does not trust these guys. Side note, Glorio and Shin do not like bugs. Because when Goku is talking about what they should do, oh yeah, by the way, I completely skipped over this. They do get on a seed, and they do get launched from the Sky Seed, and it's basically just like a dandelion pod, and they fly over the Sea of Darkness, and they have to jettison it because it's not really a flying thing. It just launches up in the sky and it goes down. Goku had the time of his life. Glorio is just serious as he normally is. Shin is scared out of his mind. But yeah, once they do land successfully, they have more of these conversations about planning, and quite literally, you have Goku being like, we can fly, and if we get tired, we can use the heal bug. And he holds it up, and Shin's like, I don't really like bugs. And Glorio's like, I don't like bugs either. So it looks like that's just another excuse for them not to cheat the system of the journey, but Goku also was fine with it. So yeah, we're gonna have some sand-based fusion, and because they want to be able to sell things, I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be Vegito or Gogeta, because those are already specific fusions when using specific routes. So maybe this is a third named fusion, and if it's not a third named fusion, maybe two other people fuse that we wouldn't expect. So that'll be kind of a theory video I'm cooking up later. With all of this, they do finally get to a city. Goku gets on a power pole, he sees how far the next city away is, they go there, and they see that King Goma, his guard is just being really bad to the people. Like, they're sitting up there talking about, okay, you owe me this, you owe me that. Like, we're upping taxes because Deborah was too lenient, so we're doing 3 gold coins per person, and that seems like to be something that nobody can sustain. So then he's also like, okay, well, if you can't give us a coin, for each coin you can't give us, that's 3 years of life. And I thought they were gonna like be people or something like that. No, they have like an actual gas pump attached to a sucker that takes out like years of people's lives. And Goku, not being able to take anymore, steps up to try to stop them, and Glorio is trying to resist that effort before we see Pansy for the first time step up. And I said earlier in the opening, it looks like she's a tinkerer. Well, she starts using gadgets. She throws a wasabi bomb that misfires, and then she gets attacked. She does tase a person, but there's too many people for her to take on. That's when Goku gets mad. He steps in and starts causing like havoc. He starts like causing havoc to Ranamuk, and that is where the big part of this comes in. You have a scene where Goku wears out like 20, 30 freaking members of Goma's guard, essentially making himself known. And this is like the cool part, because not only did we get a really cool fighting sequence with the power pole, but we're also about to have a point where Goma's like, so they're here. And it's gonna be like self-perpetuating. They would have never known about the demon realm like that, but Arinsu convinced Goma to wish them to being small, and they kidnapped Dende. Then Goku and friends are coming down, and then you have now Goma being like, they're coming for my throne, which would have never happened. So that's kind of a funny like mini gag. But after all this happens, Goku's like, man, I may have like overreacted, and Glorio's like, well, now you're a fugitive. And so they're kind of talking amongst themselves when Pansy comes over and she unmasks and she looks at them, and that is where the episode ends. So yeah, I do think we're starting to get out of the exposition phase. We did get some breadcrumbs set up, like fusion in the series later, still like Glorio being a little shady, but like for the most part, this episode was paced like a lot faster than the ones we've had in the past that were just set up. We finally starting to see some of the choreography that's going in there. Goku with the power pole and Glorio fighting the flying demon dragon thing was like just really, really cool. I think overall we saw a lot of cool just like art that's going to just be this series in general. This series had a lot of time to cook, and we're gonna see them cook. Like it's just as flat as that. There weren't anything I like looked at and was like, okay, I'm mad at that. But it was nothing burger is not the word, but we had a little action that was awesome, and we had a little expedition that was awesome, but it was mostly a journey episode. And like I said, that's what this series is trying to return to formula on. We need to see the journey. We need to see how things happen. We need to see the cast working through small problems. And it looks like very soon we're about to get the rest of the cast coming in. Now, when it comes to the join bug, that's the one thing I want to talk about, because like I said, Gogeta is Gogeta because that's his personality when he hits the fusion dance. Vegito is Vegito because that's his personality when they hit the Vitar earrings. I'm wondering if the join bug will make a completely different fusion between Goku and Vegeta, or maybe we might even see something else happen. Like, I don't know, if they're going to go down nostalgia lane and show us like the what ifs, if we're getting new forms that aren't quite new from certain characters that have never seen them in the continuity, maybe we'll get fusions in the same way. Like, what if Gohan gets wrapped up and we have a Gohan Goku fusion finally? Who knows? There's going to be a lot of cool things that they can do with this, and I'm excited to see where they're going. But for the sake of action figures, for the sake of Dokkan and Legends characters, this fusion is, I think we have a good chance for this fusion not straight up being Vegito or Gogeta, but like something with a twist, because that's going to sell more toys. A chibi Vegito or Gogeta would be cool, but a chibi new fusion would be a completely different character on its own. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I will be back on Friday for the next episode as always, and in the meantime we're going to be trying to put out some more content for Sparking Zero and Legends and Dokkan if anything arises that I think I want to put my razzle dazzle on. So thanks, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember, if you like the video, like it, and if you love it, maybe even subscribe. Later.